Ask Raven, the wise one listens and answers with song for those who wander and wonder too long. The tide keeps secrets, the moon keeps time, and I, old Raven, keep both in rhyme. Come close, wanderers, draw near the flame. I'll open a page with no written name. A hush on the water, a soft unseen hand, a story the lanterns remember on land, where nets lay sleeping in shadow and brine, and sky met the sea in a worldless design. Two boats drifting in lantern-lit ease, their kettles gone quiet, their smoke on the breeze. The crews lean back with their mugs half high, while nets so deep where the dark things lie. The waves breathe soft like a slow-spoken prayer, and even the gulls stayed out of the air. I circled above with my ink-black wing, just watching the lantern halos ring. The world felt tuned to a gentler tone, like a drumbeat waiting to speak its own. No wind to wrestle, no tide to race, just open water and empty space. And far off the horizon learned to glow a sober thought in a line of shadow. Not lantern fire and not star flare bright, but a careful widening blossom of light. It slid on the water without a sound, like a moon that forgot it was skyward bound. Not lightning's anger, too patient, too slow. Not harbor beacon with towered glow. It grew like a curtain from sea to sky, a shining scene where the world runs high. Each knot of the net turned frosted thread, and the lantern crowns grew wide and spread. The fishermen stared with their hands half raised, their mugs forgotten, their faces amazed. No panic there on the creaking deck, just that quiet wonder that makes you check. The kind their elders once felt as well, when fog held footsteps and no one could tell. The craft drew closer, still calm, still slow, a drifting circle of silver glow. No wings to beat and no mast to lean, just shapes like ripples beneath its sheen. Its skin flowed softly like moonlit tide, with thoughts like fish that swam inside. Then down from its belly a pale beam poured, not like a sword, not lightning scored, soft as the breath of a warming flame, yet bright enough to forget its name. It touched the jet, it touched the deck with a gentle hand, as if greeting sailors from another strand. One crew rose first in the silver stream, carried like leaves in a river of dream. Their boots left timber with barely a tap, their caps hung weightless above each cap. They floated upward in calm surprise, clouds of lantern, gold caught in their eyes. No pull, no yank, no violent sway, just bodies drifting the softest way. You'd think the tide had turned straight up and poured their spirits into the cup. Then over the beam to the second boat's men, the river of light flowed outward again. Their ropes fell slack, their nets stayed true, but every heart felt something new. I rode the edge of that shining stream, my feathers brushed by a summer dream. Warmth from the beam kissed feather and bone, like campfire stories told alone. Inside the craft I could faintly see soft silhouettes moving carefully, not jagged shadows or looming height, just gentle figures shaped out of light. Curious watchers with patient pace, reading each callus on every face. They study the hands that know the line, the knots that speak of weather and brine. They traced the marks on jackets worn, the salt-stiff cuffs, and canvas torn, as if the story of ocean years was written in seams and rusted gears. Fishermen felt like they'd stepped through air into a room made entirely of care. No sharp cold instruments, no iron sting, only the hush of a listening thing. One elder smiled with his eyes half closed, as if some old memory recomposed. Perhaps he recalled his very first run, when dawn felt bigger than sea or sun. Perhaps he heard in that humming tone a pulse that lives in the ocean's bone. Whatever he saw in that gentle gleam, he held it quiet inside the dream, and slowly the beam grew thinner, more gold, like a story winding down what it told. The craft that learned what it came to know, of corks and currents and lantern glow, of human hearts that read the wave and trust small flames the way others trust pave. Downward they drifted one by one, as soft as mist when night is done. Boots met the deck with a cautious wait, like guests returning a borrowed plate. Mugs rolled gently, ropes untwined, lanterns steadied their orange mine. The craft above let a low sigh ring, a barely heard long parting string, as if it whispered, "Thank you, sea, for letting your keepers speak to me." Then higher it drifted beyond the foam, a wandering moon with no fixed home. The men looked round with startled grace, each reading wonder on the other's face. Some claimed the sky had learned to sing, not in notes, but a glowing ring. Others swore the beam felt warm, like hands around a mug in storm. None found harm in what had passed, only a feeling too strange to gasp. They checked their nets and gear once more, then set to hauling from seafloor store. And something softer lived in their gaze, a quiet respect for sky-bound ways. For now they knew, where lanterns gleam, they're not alone in the midnight stream. Not only gulls and passing whales, but travelers drawn to old sea tales. Watchers above who turn their heads when nets stretch out like silver threads. So listen, wanderers, this I say: if you're out where night unrolls its clay, and a shimmer rises without a sound, a glow that lifts both air and ground, look up, not down. When the water gleams, you might be standing in someone's dreams. Sky and sea are cousins deep, each with secrets they long to keep. Not all that glides on silver wings is bound to fright or shadow things. Some wanderers drift from far above to learn the coast's old songs of love. They watch the ones who cast the net, who haul what living tides beget. They read the spray on weathered skin, the way a handshake starts and ends. Salt in the air is a kind of code, telling the story of every load. If ever you've seen such glow or sign, or felt strange warmth down the lantern line, throw us a line with the tale you own. Let your mystery find our foe. Our ghost boat grows on the words you choose, on every story you refuse to lose. And if these rhymes stir heart or chest, and keep our longhouse spirits blessed, you'll find quiet links, neatly pressed, in the About section, safely dressed, where wanderers, kindly and free of jest, may toss a coin in our treasure chest. What you forget, Raven remembers, through fire and embers. Raven remembers nevermore. nevermore, nevermore.